Former RHOBA star Crystal Kung Minkoff launching podcast with RHOBA star. Crystal Kung Minkoff was finally coming into her own as a cast member on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when news broke that she hadn't been asked back for season 14. Months after it was revealed that her time on the Bravo reality series was over, we have an update on her next project. Deadline reports that the 41-year-old will join forces with fellow Bravo celebrity Cynthia Bailey for a new podcast titled Humble Brag with Crystal and Cynthia. Of course, Cynthia is best known for her lengthy tenure on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is set to premiere season 16 in 2025. Humble Brag with Crystal Kung Minkoff comes from Envy Media, the company Nick Viall started following the success of his own podcast, The Viall Files. In a statement, Crystal said she was thrilled to work with The Bachelor alum to bring the podcast to life. Nick is one of the scrappiest, hardest-working people I've met, and his relentless drive for success mirrors my own, Crystal added. Crystal and Cynthia will cover many topics. The new podcast will feature the ladies discussing topics related to reality TV, pop culture, and the celebrity sphere. It would be interesting if the pair covered RHOBA season 14 because it would be intriguing to hear Crystal's thoughts on the show now that she's no longer a part of it. Her affiliation with Bravo is over, so it probably allows her to be more candid about how scenes are set up and specific reactions from her former co-stars. It's a real shame Crystal's time with RHOBH is over because, as we said, she had so much potential to be a great housewife. Crystal was fired from the show alongside her rival, Anna Mary Wiley, as producers opted to hire Bozoma St. John and Jennifer Tilly as new cast members for season 14. RHOBA season 16 promises to be different. Meanwhile, Cynthia is returning to RHOBA when it premieres season 16 next year on Bravo. She will continue on the long-running reality series as a friend of the Housewives. The series has been in the headlines a lot this year, with fans initially excited about Kenya Moore and Portia Williams reuniting on-screen. However, Kenya walked from RHOBA after allegations that she showed X-rated images of newcomer Brittany Eadie. Fans probably won't know the whole story until the season premieres because Bravo typically keeps storylines under wraps until the episodes air. Crystal and Cynthia are not the first Bravo-birdies to have a podcast, and they certainly won't be the last, so it will be good to see how they set their joint effort apart from their predecessors. Crystal Kung Minkoff is stepping back into the spotlight, this time behind the mic. The former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has announced an exciting new venture. A podcast co-hosted with none other than a fan-favorite Real Housewives of Atlanta star. While Bravo fans may be used to watching their favorite housewives trade shade and champagne toasts, this collaboration promises to bring an entirely new dimension to the reality TV universe. Though details about the podcast title and format remain under wraps, sources close to the project reveal that it will be a mix of candid conversations, juicy Bravo tea, and deep dives into personal journeys, something both women know plenty about. Crystal, known for her no-nonsense attitude and unique perspective as the first Asian-American housewife on RHOBA, was a breath of fresh air on the franchise. However, her time on the show was met with its share of drama, from tense confrontations with Sutton Stracke to navigating group dynamics that often left her on the outside looking in. Though she ultimately exited the show, Crystal remained a fan favorite among viewers who appreciated her authenticity, intelligence, and sense of humor. Pairing her with a powerhouse from RHOA, a franchise known for its explosive drama and unforgettable one-liners, makes for an intriguing duo. While the identity of her co-host has yet to be officially revealed, speculation is already running wild. Could it be Kenya Moore, known for her quick wit and ability to read anyone within seconds? Or perhaps Kandi Burruss, a business mogul who balances reality TV with an empire of music, restaurants, and Broadway productions? Maybe even Portia Williams, whose return to RHOA has already set the Bravo world ablaze. What we do know is that this podcast isn't just about rehashing Housewives drama. Crystal and her mystery co-host are aiming to create a platform where they can discuss the real issues that matter to them. Everything from cultural identity and motherhood to business ventures and self-growth. Crystal, the founder of Real Coco, has always been passionate about wellness and entrepreneurship, and she hopes to bring those insights into the podcast. Meanwhile, her RHOA co-host, whoever she may be, will undoubtedly bring her own wealth of experience, perspective, and Southern charm. Whether they're talking about their wildest behind-the-scenes moments, spilling Bravo secrets, or interviewing high-profile guests, this dynamic duo is sure to shake up the podcasting world. The announcement has already sent Bravo fans into a frenzy on social media. Some are excited about the potential for cross-franchise friendships, while others are wondering if the podcast will spill the kind of tea that the network would rather keep behind closed doors. Given the tendency of Housewives podcasts to stir controversy, just ask Bethany Frankel. This one could be a game-changer. Crystal and her co-host are set to officially launch their podcast within the next few months, and rumors suggest that their first episodes will feature special guests from the Housewives world. Could we see a reunion between Crystal and Garcelle Beauvais? A tell-all about that infamous Aspen trip, or a deep dive into Ray Owe's most legendary feuds? One thing's for certain, if you love Bravo, pop culture, and unfiltered conversations, this is one podcast you won't want to miss. Stay tuned for more details as Crystal and her RHOA co-host prepare to take the Mick and the Bravo world by storm. Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Crystal Minkoff is making a big return to the spotlight. But this time, she's swapping diamonds for a microphone. The entrepreneur and reality TV alum has announced the launch of her brand new podcast, and she's bringing a surprising co-host along for the ride. A Real Housewives of Atlanta star. In a move that has both Bravo fans and podcast listeners buzzing, Crystal is teaming up with none other than Marlo Hampton, the Atlanta-based fashionista and one of the most polarizing figures in RHOA history. The duo's podcast, Housewives Unfiltered, promises to be a no-holds-barred take on fame, reality television, and life after Bravo. The unexpected pairing. At first glance, Crystal and Marlo may seem like an unlikely duo. Crystal, known for her measured and sometimes reserved personality on RHOB8, was often caught in the crossfire of the show's relentless drama, but rarely the one throwing verbal punches. Marlo, on the other hand, has built a reputation as one of RHOA's most unfiltered, sharp-toned cast members, never shying away from an argument or a shady comment. But in an exclusive statement, Crystal revealed that their differences are exactly what make their partnership work. "I've always admired Marlo's authenticity and confidence," Crystal shared. "She's never afraid to speak her mind, and that's something I respect. When we started talking about doing a podcast, we realized we had so many shared experiences, even though we come from different backgrounds. This is our chance to finally say everything we couldn't say on camera." Marlo echoed the sentiment, adding, "People think they know us based on what they saw on TV, but there's so much more. Crystal and I are both businesswomen, we've both had ups and downs in the spotlight, and trust me, we've got plenty of tea to spill. This podcast is going to be fun, shady, and real. What Housewives Unfiltered will cover." According to insiders, Housewives Unfiltered will be more than just a recap show. While Crystal and Marlo will undoubtedly discuss Bravo drama and behind-the-scenes secrets, their vision for the podcast is broader. Each episode will tackle a new theme, ranging from navigating social media backlash to dealing with the pressures of reality TV fame. Special guests, including former and current housewives, are also expected to drop by. "We're not holding back," Crystal teased. "There are things we couldn't say while we were on the show, things that got edited out, and moments that people completely misunderstood. This is our chance to set the record straight." A particularly exciting segment will be Hot Mick Moments, where Crystal and Marlo react to infamous scenes from different Housewives franchises, giving their unfiltered opinions and sharing what really goes on when the cameras aren't rolling.